Hello, everyone. My name is Tim B. Green, and this is Crush It Club, episode 75. What's absolutely true? Is it science? Is it flat Earth? Well, we're going to talk about this a little bit, but mainly what this episode will do is teach you how to tell the difference between what is provable and what is unprovable and help you make better decisions in business and life. So I got to be honest with you, there's so much stuff out there that's masquerading as pseudoscience, and it can be really hard to decide whether it's true or not. I earlier did an episode called Pseudoscience Detector or something like that. So this is kind of about that, but more about the scientific method. So I want to ask you this, though, and this is my CTA for today. And that is, if you are having problems distinguishing what is real or provable in identifying solutions in your company, please reach out to me. I've got this checklist, but this is just a mere goal-setting checklist. That's cool. Get that if you want. But I want to share my email address with you, and I promise two things. One, I'll do my very best to help you apply science and neuroscience and other things to helping you make better decisions, as we talk about in this episode. But also, if I can't help you, I won't waste your time. I don't do stringing people along. It's a waste of my time, and it's unrewarding and harmful to people's reputation. So I don't do it. So that's my promise if you do that. So here's my email address. It's tim@crush-it-club.com. I will not be putting the text version of that in the chat or in the description because I don't want to get spammed by bots. So please just take that one. And reach out to me, and like I said, I'll help you in any way that I can or get you started down a solution path. So first, I want to talk quickly about yesterday's episode about programming your RAS, or reticular activating system, to notice things in your environment which will help you solve problems and be more creative. Use calendar alarms. Literally, you could set an alarm, a calendar alarm that just goes off scheduled from your calendar right to your phone, goes off like an ordinary alarm and says, notice new things in the environment, or notice solutions to problems. Notice what customers in my demographic are wearing. And it won't be right away, but if you do that, over time, you will start to become more and more conscious, because you programmed your RAS to notice things in your environment that it was intentionally ignoring in favor of other things that thought more important to your attention and your survival. Okay, so let's get past that. And that is to say, here's the bad news. Is it flat Earth? Is it science? What's real? Well, unfortunately, with the internet, it's harder than ever to tell, but there's some pretty simple things we can do. And within the limits, we can't know everything. We can't know, some things are just beyond our ability to know. But within the limits of what we can know, and for practical everyday life, science and empiricism are the best tools we have, since their results must be seen the same way by all observers and reproducible. So if we look up in the sky, if you see a plane, and your friend comes along and says, oh no, I don't see a plane flying and I see a dog running, well, then that's not science. So that's the fundamental thing, right? Is like agreement on observed results and reproducible. So tomorrow, you can see another plane flying, and pretty soon you have every right to believe that planes can fly. And people do it all the time, whether they have a belief or not, whether they're religious or not, planes still fly. Unlike that, the FSM, or flying spaghetti monster, God or gods, metaphysics are unprovable, and that until that changes, we can't talk about them as science. You can't tell me they're true. I can't tell you they're false, or more accurately, we have no way to demonstrate that they're false or non-existent. But I'll tell you this, we've had about 20,000 years of religion, and especially in the last 2,500, 2,000 years of religion, we have come further using science and empiricism in the last few hundred years than all of previous human history combined using objective empirical science. And that's why it's important to know what's true. Is flat Earth true? Well, if you believe that, I'm not even going to argue with you, because I just don't even have words as to how you could seriously think that's true. But, you know, believe what you wish, but you just can't call it science. And I'm not going to tell anybody who's a flat earther that they shouldn't believe it, or an anti-vaxxer that they shouldn't believe it, because I know that's a waste of time, but nor am I going to accept them telling me why I'm wrong. If they can't prove it with science, it's unprovable, like God. That stays outside this realm. So mainly what I'm going to talk about is something called Occam's razor, which most science geeks know, and that is that if two things are equally likely, but one is more complex or more detailed and requires more assumptions, then Occam's razor would say, prefer the one that is the simplest or has the least, let's call it, moving parts. Therefore, if you have to choose between two equally likely explanations, take the one that requires the least addition of complexity and details or assumptions. Okay, so there's that. And really, when it comes to making decisions, even in business, it's, can others observe what is going on? Can others say, yes, we had this problem with staff? Unless you can measure and have other people see the same things, somehow numerical or somehow qualitative, but people agree that what they're seeing is the same regardless of who they are, well, then that allows you to take that as some kind of real data, like a plane flying. Everybody looks up in the sky, no matter what they believe, what their background is, they see a plane flying, and it's observable. It's a result you can record. So when it comes to your business, you should think of it in this scientific way, where you can, to get at decisions, not he said, she said. It's like, what can we see? What results can we get? Or what results do we have? And if some stranger off the street or a Buddhist monk or anybody else on earth comes in and looks at something, looks at some result, will they all agree? If they are, then you're getting towards what reality is. And you can use that. That's how you can pick out that something is real, that something is true, and likely understand what the cause is, or at least strive to. Unless it's provable, if it needs faith, if it needs anything which is beyond what people can see, measure, taste, touch, all those concrete things, and there is wider universal agreement on what the results are from anybody who observes it, and that you can then see those results again, good or bad, then you can start to dig into how you can solve that problem. So how do you know if something's real? You know if something's real, you know if it's correct by looking at these basic shared realities. So that's it for this episode. My name, it's kind of a chunky episode. Sorry about that. This one was hard for me to do. This has been Crush It Club 75. What's absolutely real? I'll give you a view of that email address if you want it. My name is Tim B. Green. Bye for now.